everybody, this is Samriddhi Sakunya and you are watching HW News Network. So as you can see, we are here at the Press Club of India. You can see the protesters have gathered here, but not for farmers' protest, but yet another important story, which is about Siddique Kappan. So he has been in jail for 1 year now. Previous year, while he was going to Hathras to cover the Hathras rape case, he was arrested by the UP police and later charged with sedition and UAPA. UP police have filed a charge sheet which is 5,000 pages long and claims such bizarre statements. For example, he writes article to incite Muslims and shows them as victims. So let's go and talk to people here to understand what are their demands and is it a threat to press in India. Sir, the police in the charge sheet has claimed that Siddique Kappan writes to incite other Muslims and that he shows them as victims.
In this country, every day, thousands of people are inciting such a nonsense, and there are proofs. No case was registered against them. But only in Siddique Kappan case, the innocent journalist was, he's innocent, and he, without going to the spot, he was many kilometers from the spot. He didn't reach the Hathras. He was arrested on the fateful day. And he was kept on the basis, I don't know, it is better known to the government system and the police. That's why he was targeted. What I feel is, at this point of time, that he was targeted because to send a message across the journalist fraternity that any person which will expose the truth, which will go to the spot to cover the truth, cover the facts, he will get the same fate what Kappan is suffering from last 1 year. The second important part is the so-called charge sheet filed against Kappan. This charge sheet nothing but a fabulous and a fraud on the law of this country, and no evidence. Government failed to and police failed to collaborate those charges with the facts, because and the delay was most injustice part of the thing is the delay in filing the charge sheet. When any person, arrested person is there, he is behind the bar, no bail was granted to him. So it is the duty of the police to file the charge sheet within 90 days. But the charge sheet was not filed in the 90 days, and in a sense of afterthought, the further charges were labelled against him, so that UAPA seemed to prove it that he was a terrorist, just like a terrorist. And this is nothing but a harassment of a journalist, harassment of a free media, harassment of truth. And I feel that I appeal to the government of India, I appeal to the highest judiciary, I appeal to the government of Uttar Pradesh to quash the charges against the journalists.
Do you think it's the failure of judiciary as well that they could not grant him bail, proper bail?
I think I will not blame judiciary. I will appeal to the judiciary rather, that they should they have not gone through the case, the modus operandi, the hidden agenda of Uttar Pradesh Police to arrest a person, because you are not taking action against the person who did the crime. You are killing the messenger. You are killing the person. You are trying to kill the person. You are trying to harass the person who was going to report the truth. So rather than taking action against those culprits who are responsible for the heinous crime of raping and killings of the poor daughter of this country, and the man was going on his way. He was going along with the friends, along with his colleague. On the spot, he was not harming anyone, he was not doing any propaganda, not using any loudspeaker, nothing. And on the basis of apprehension, it is a matter of great surprise and shame on the police of Uttar Pradesh Police and Uttar Pradesh government, that on the basis of apprehension, I am sitting here with you, and all of a sudden you will say that all of a sudden I may do something wrong. What, unless and until I am not doing, he has not created any nonsense. He has not created no communal flare-up was there because of him. So what I feel is it is nothing but a witch hunting, nothing but a harassment, nothing but a attack on free media, nothing but a killing and harassing an innocent journalist. His family is suffering. His mother died when he was behind the bar for 4 5 months. Sorry, and his mother passed away, and he was given few days time to go to his family to see his family. So what? That's why we appeal to the highest judiciary to please quash the charges against him.
It's very unfair. You cannot target journalists like this for the reporting that they're trying to do. It was perfectly legitimate for a reporter to go to Hathras. Many of them did. Now, Kappan seems to have been picked up along with the people who were with him because they were Muslim. That's the unfortunate reality of Uttar Pradesh and of this country. The police can, the police can just slap charges of any kind on anyone they want to. It's very easy for them. Then especially under sections like UAPA, because then there's no bail, there's no help. You're stuck for a long period of time. We don't know how many years you're inside. And you're not able to even get together the evidence to prove that you're not guilty. And in this case, charge sheet was not filed for months together, which again is not legal, but there you are, that's what they do. And they get away with it because our courts are not proactive. Priya Sharma, I think it is, of Scroll, reported a story from Varanasi saying people in that constituency are hungry. Now, unfortunately, it's the Prime Minister's constituency. They slap cases on her. Yeah? So, you can't even do a story on hunger without facing these dangers. This is absurd. Rana Ayub during COVID was distributing relief. She managed to collect donations and she was literally, this was not journalism, but she was just distributing ration. तो अब उसके ऊपर आपने केस लगा दिया saying कि डोनेशन आपके इलीगल है या आपने जो भी टैक्स नहीं भरा या जो भी उल्लंघन किया. I don't know all the details. I've read about it. But similarly, but she's a journalist. And let's be clear, when people like this are targeted, it's for their journalism. Ostensible reason may be something else. It's actually their journalistic work. That's the problem. So many women journalists are trolled. So many women journalists are attacked on social media by the IT cell. It's Neha Dikshit is another one who has complained a lot about Swati Chaturvedi. There are just so many. If you start naming them, it's a long, long list. And there are women who don't speak out, women journalists, who are afraid to speak out and say, we're being trolled, we're being troubled, or we're getting anonymous phone calls, or we're getting threats. That also happens. They don't talk about it.
More than that, he has been arrested for doing his job, doing reports on poor people, marginalized people, those who are suffering, those who have been attacked by various governments. So, he has not yet been served with the charge sheet. But whatever we gather from news reports that have already appeared, that he has been attacked for about 50 articles and interviews he has done on various issues. So, when one looks, as a reader, when one looks at Siddique Kappan's articles, he has interviewed people from all walks of life. He has interviewed people from BJP, he has interviewed people from BMS, RSS, he has interviewed people from Congress, left parties, various social organizations, NGOs. He, as any other reporter like us, he has been doing his job. So now the government wanted to send a message that if you are doing fair journalism, this will be your fate. Hope you remember on the day of Hathras, when the government wanted to cremate the body of that poor girl who was victim of an gruesome attack and she was murdered. Then it was the reporters of India's various television channels who exposed the game of UP police. So they were hit by that incident. So they didn't want any other reporters to come and report the real issues on the ground in Hathras. So that is why they took Siddique Kappan, because it was easy for them because, as you said, I mean, his name is also mattered in that case. Other than his work, his identity was also used by the UP to tag him and in a wrong case.
The president of Press Club of India believes that the threat, harassment and everything on journalists have been there in all the governments. But the intensity of threat, abuse and harassment has increased under this government. While other people have told us that it's Siddique and his surname, it's because of that he is inside the jail. Everybody here has appealed to judiciary to take its course and give bail, grant bail to Siddique as soon as possible. This was Samriddhi Sakunia. Keep watching HW News Network.